We're back with another Just a Vibe TV episode, and today we're here with Rodney Small. Rodney, what's up, bro?
Not just Rodney Small. Man, you wear many hats in this.
No, I feel like if this is the man who gets it all done.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like if you're the man who gets it all done.
Well, lad.
I feel like if after the announcement that you are going to be the new CDC CEO and whatnot, like I feel like there was a lot of excitement behind that.
Yeah. I would definitely say that as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think persons would appreciate that. You know, I mean, over the years I've been doing quite a number of work, not just for myself but in the industry.
Yeah.
So I think it was an easy transition, and I think persons have been seeing the results of some of my work. So it's really just something that persons are really comfortable with, because I've been working with a lot of people and understanding the industry and what it takes to put it on another level. So I guess that's where it came from.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations on it. Like,
yeah. When I saw the post, I was like, finally, something. That's fine. Because the country has been crying out for, you know, not that we give for all the previous CEOs and before.
yeah, give it props again.
Props as well.
Yeah, respect.
But because I don't know why, it just feel like I think Granny, you get us, like the younger generation, like
Right.
yeah, we come more connect with you.
Right.
And then because you're in Pan as well, we know you for so long.
Yeah.
In the music industry, and you have a lot of connection as well as your RS Academy.
Yeah.
You know, people say, you know, this is the right move. This is one of the best moves CDC can make for this year.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's just about having a sense of understanding of what is required, and you could only have that if you're grounded. And I think I've been working with a lot of people over the years, as you said, even the younger generation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not older now, but
yeah,
I mean, people who are younger than me, and being able just to follow what is trending, and but also giving a lot of respect to what happened before, so knowing where we're coming from and where we want to go. But yeah, it's just a great feeling to know that there's a full support and a lot of appreciation for the new appointment. And it could only get better from here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like if there were a lot of cheers behind it too, because I feel like if you have a deep understanding of music and you know exactly what to bring forward.
Yeah.
Because like going back to your early ages now, we understand that you started playing pan at a level from about like 7 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this Cyan Hill Euphonium orchestra group.
Yeah, well, not really Cyan. I started with the girls' high school.
Girls' high school?
Yeah, I remember they had to dress me up like a girl. Because the rule was that if you're playing for all girls band, you have to be a girl. So they decided that they're going to dress me up like a girl, so I could be able to play in the competition, and that was during carnival time.
And what age group was the competition based on? Age group?
It was secondary school age, and then I started learning at 7. And approximately about 9, 10 is when I played, when they dressed me up like a girl. They put me in a wig and a girl high school uniform, right up at T-shirt.
Illegal?
It could only be illegal if you catch me. If you catch me, and you could.
So there was no suspicions being like, boy, that posted it.
I think persons knew, but I think persons just had an appreciation for this little boy who just wanted to be a part of the culture, who just wanted to be able to play. And then even after that is when, I mean, some of the members from Cyan Hill Euphonium saw me and invited me to be a part of their band. And that is where, you know, I mean, it really started in terms of a serious way, because even while playing at that tender age, I was also an athlete. I used to run and I used to play soccer. I mean, at a very serious level too. And then every time sports pulled me, the music pulled me back, so, and then sports moves on it, and then eventually I damaged my hip. And I was like, you know, I done with all sports, and then just start taking music serious. So from that tender age of 7 to now, it's 29 years since I am doing this thing.
Wow.
And not just only as a pan player, but from an industry level in a holistic way. I mean, even somebody who's coming not from a rich family, but somebody who understands what we'd call struggles and stuff like that. And I think that is where it's also coming from, where a lot of people now have the appreciation for me becoming the CEO. Because somebody who's grounded, somebody who's not coming from what we'd say, a rich family, somebody who's been through the struggles of the industry, right? Because I've seen it all. And I mean, I'm still a musician, because I play pan and I play drum. I was an actor. I write plays. I'm a production manager, I'm a stage manager.
So you have done it all, you've done it all.
Correct, and there's still more to go, there's still more things to learn. So I think from persons seeing all these things and knowing all these things about me, it's give them a level of comfort and security that, this man could do the job. I mean, even recording with artists too in the soca world.
You see where I feel, you see where I feel.
Yeah, so it's really to know that I am somebody who could sit down and advocate for you guys.
Right.
Not just as musicians, but even persons from the mass industry or from the pan industry. So it's more of a holistic thing. But yeah, that's where it really started from a very early age.
So like when did you discover like you had this love for playing pan, you had this knack for like playing pan and so on?
But I never had a love for it. I was just a miserable child. And I used to just hear this noise coming, because I used to have to start girls' high school. Right, back then they had a typewriting class. You see, like how we had them electronic typewriter back then. They had
paper and everything.
And then I used to have to wait on my sister, because they never wanted me to go home alone. Because I walk home alone, I go and bust 50 people fruit trees and thing and make trouble. So I used to have to wait, and while waiting, I hear any noise. And then one day I went down, and I was just curious and wanted to be a part of what was happening. And then they asked me if I wanted to learn. And then that love never came until probably later on. I mean, so it wasn't really at that age. You're finding yourself, you're trying to find yourself. So it wasn't really about a love. It was really about.
You just kept doing it still.
Yeah, I kept.
I never found the love at that time yet.
Right.
You just kept on doing it.
Yeah, and that's how you know that eventually it was about purpose and passion, because I never really had any musicians in my family who encouraged me.
Yeah, so something
I
you got
never had
into
friends who were musicians. I had friends who were in sports.
Okay.
You feel me? So it was really not the love eventually came. It's just like a man and a woman. I mean, you see a woman, it seems very attractive. She seems very attractive. There's an interest, and then as you interact, as you spend time, then you start developing that type of love.
So that's a relationship now.
Yeah. Might think different to them.
Yeah.
Might think different now. When you see girls, you know, love at first sight.
Love at first. Well, it have that too. It have that too. But for me, it's just really a blessing to see the career unfolding. With a lot of purpose. Because for me, I would never imagine that this is where I would have been. Because as I said, I've seen a lot of different things. I've have a lot of different friends in different places. There are even persons who thought that I would have failed.
Right, I was gonna say, like, bro, it has to be like a feeling of, the people them who watch you grow, like they feel proud now for saying about like, yeah, this little boy, he was just growing making trouble and miserable and things like they never thought like, he would have turned out to like, grow this much.
Yeah, and for me, all my life, especially the younger part of my life, it was always to prove people wrong. Like, because as I said, I grew up in a single parent home, was just my mother alone and my sister them. My father was never wrong. So I never really had a male figure around me. So like my community is who really embraced me. The men in my community is who really embraced me. Right? Because I originally from Tongue. Live Murray Village before Tongue Hill, Walveru, Sign Hill. You understand? So that that kind of that community was always a knitted one, full of people from sports and culture. So for me, it was always to prove people wrong that I could do this. Because being a panist, or being a musician, and you would know, kind of better for you guys now. Being a musician, persons thought that you would have been a delinquent. You're good for nothing, you can't make it in life, you can't eat from music, you can't feed your family from music. So for me, it was always to prove a point that I could make it, and I always maintained that I don't need to leave St. Vincent to make it. You understand? Regardless of, because I went to Jamaica and I studied in Jamaica, and I came back home when I had opportunities to stay, because I feel like I could make it here. I feel I could do it here, from right here, from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I had the same feeling.
Yeah, it's just that, the world is no longer a big place. Because look at what we're doing here. Millions and thousands of people going to be watching this from all over the world. Because, I follow in all the page and a lot of people locked on.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go anywhere else to do this.
Nah, trust me, I appreciate the love, because when we just got the page and we started posting videos, like, you were one of the first people to actually like follow our page, and big up people. And so I was like, there was a sense of excitement amongst the group now, amongst the team. Was like, yo, boy, like, yeah, Rodney Small, actually checking out.
And when I see we're going on, I say, boy, I have to go on them one thing. No matter, you see, for me, it doesn't matter what I achieve or where I'm at. I always remember to stay humble and let humility be my guide. Because at the end of the day, somebody took the time out to nurture me. And if I could take the time out to nurture somebody or to embrace somebody.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, well, and we could see you doing just that because you spoke about like you know, the older men in the area when you were growing up, they showed you love and they
Correct.
kind of be that they were that figure for you, and we saw you reciprocate just that.
Yeah.
With the Sand Hill, yeah, there's a lot of musicians coming up in Sand Hill right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sand Hill musician. I call them the Sand Hill music scheme basically.
Right.
Because, yeah, Sand Hill rules all of that, and you're one of the first person who actually showed up to the studio with them and actually co-signed them and showed them love and things.
Correct.
Yeah, like it was a big talk then because like Rodney Small showing love to the youths.
I think if we see in them, well, the them he's speaking of is Just Boss.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, man. And then for me, anybody, it doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are. For me, I just feel like we all have a role to play, and we all have our contribution to make.
Right.
And I love to see people win. I mean, and although there's a lot of negativity that comes with the industry, I mean, I try to block it out and just play my part. I mean, because at the end of the day, I could learn something from you. As much as I might be in this thing older than you, I'll be wrong. It doesn't mean that you don't have something that I could learn from. Because I remember when I was an arranger for Panorama, right, which is a steel pan competition in Carnival.
Yeah.
I was fighting with a piece of music. I couldn't understand it, I couldn't get it. And a 9-year-old told me, "Sir, why don't you try it this way?" And when I tried it, it was actually the right thing. But I could have been cocky and say, "Man, you're like a 9-year-old." I mean,
yeah, you know what they say, like I didn't say that I'm gonna you.
Yeah. But I mean, what you guys doing is very important. And I feel like if everybody who's watching or listening to this, who's an experienced individual in the industry, should give you guys the same support that I would give or anybody else would give. Because at the end of the day, we need each other.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? We really need each other.
What Rodney Small is saying, like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Nah, but the love coming from you because, you know, we grew up hearing about Rodney Small, hearing about the accomplishments and all the multiple Panorama wins and so on.
Yeah, nice. I mean, and these things are not for me, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, I embrace them and I give thanks and praise for them. But it's really for somebody else to see it and feel inspired. Because again, especially my story is one that, I mean, a lot of people can share, can relate to, right? Because, I mean, you guys starting this from here. I mean, not knowing what is going to come to, I mean, 2-3 years from now. I mean, this could be even bigger than what it is right now. And I mean, so it's just a matter of being able to inspire each other, and that's what I just push with. You know what I mean?
How you started the academy?
The academy was, I mean, and then there are a lot of negatives that was surrounding it, political negatives, and that's fine too. And I mean, where I tried opening my academy 11 times, you know.
11 times.
11 times, and
boy.
I mean, as a musician, going to a financial institution for a loan, saying that you're a musician, they're not going to give it to you, because as I said, when you're a musician, they don't think that you can make a living from music. I mean, quite naturally, because we don't have a lot of success stories. I mean, and there's a sense of security when you're going for a loan.
Right.
And the 11th time I went, they told me, down, right, I don't have what it takes to get a loan, right, for a business of such. So then the government had this thing called the Prime Program, and I applied for it.
Oh.
And I got through. And just to put the record out there, I applied for $40,000 because that was the max, and I ended up getting $18,000, right? Because it was more than 40,000 to open a school, also. Right? Yeah, correct. And I got 18,000, and I hired 5 tutors, and at that time I started with 49 students, right? I mean, 49 students of persons who were a part of this industry that we're talking about. I was just so excited, and that's where it started. Because for me, I mean, I went to school in Jamaica, and while I was there, I said, boy, how we could get something like this in St. Vincent, where you have a school or a space that could just deal with the industry, so somebody could come and learn things and feel like this is a home for them. Because, I mean, majority of the time, because it is my academy is still open, majority of the time, the persons who came to my academy, I didn't charge them, because I realized there was a lot of grassroots people, a lot of people who can't afford it. Because even me, while I was growing up, my mother could never afford to send me to a music school. So that's where the concept came from. How can I create a home for not just pan players, but people in the industry? Because we weren't only doing pan. I was doing vocal training. I was doing production stuff. I was doing stage management. I was even teaching experienced musicians how to teach other people. You understand? So that's where the concept came from, in terms of creating a home for other persons like myself who never got the opportunity.
Right, because me and she was speaking beforehand, before we started shooting, and I was telling him, like, you Rodney do, like, it really inspiring for real, because it's like sports, how we look at sports now, right? A lot of people, you go love to see kids getting sports because you go say, hey, go get them off the streets, get them away from crime and so on. And it's the same how you see music right now, a lot of youths getting into music, you think like, yeah bro, like better they doing music right now, focusing on that, than be on the street like men and whatever else.
Yeah, I mean, and it's an outlet, because as I tell you earlier, I've seen a lot of things, you know, right? I have a lot of brethren who passed away, right? Because and because of being on a block and just not knowing their place. And all of them were talented. You know what I mean? So like when I go out to do motivational talk, one of the things that I say to the young people, you have to know your place, right? And then at the end of the day, I can't blame them too, because if they don't have the avenue, there was never outlet for you to...
become a product of the environment.
Yeah, correct. For you to come and find a place that you could meet like-minded people, you know what I mean, who are on the same mission, because all of us are not the same. We're not going to be the same. You understand? So for me, I just wanted to create that space and that home. And right now, my academy is now a band room.
Wow.
I don't even go there. It's all kind of bands that go there and rehearse.
It's about the poor system behind it, because you having to go basically 12 times before you get the approval and whatever else.
Course.
And you still need to get the amount you wanted. Most people have to touch, right? They
give up. Yeah.
But I try to understand, they not see music as like making money then from
a livelihood. Like very secure.
Want you Rodney Small, like the Rodney Small now, we know. Want you like going away and playing.
Yeah, like
so I don't understand how they see it as
for the financial institution is about security and paperwork and being able to see things in a structured manner. Right? Because I mean, for a musician career, you could be hot right now, you could be making money right now, and then next week you could flop. And when you flop, how are you being able to repay the loan? But for me, what I eventually did was I formalized my thing. I went and I registered my brand, register my business. I mean, start dealing with my thing on a business level. So have financial and accountants and auditors dealing with my thing in a particular way. Now, not everybody would have that opportunity or have that mindset to operate like that.
Yes.
That's why, again, when I interact with a young musician or somebody who now coming to the industry, I don't talk about how you perform on stage. I talk about the business aspect of it. First, I talk about your attitude towards it, and then the business aspect of it, because that's the part a lot of people don't like to talk about.
Yeah, the business part.
And I mean, because that is obviously is going to make you very secure. Because I say to every young artist, when you record a song, make sure that your royalties and your intellectual property is in place, because royalties is your retirement plan as a musician. Right. So when you stop singing and you stop writing or you stop play, you could sit down and know that there are royalties coming into the bank, right? Yeah, but for me right now, it's really, I just had to put things in order and just see my career as how you could see this store. Because this store, there's a particular business practices that you have to follow for it to maintain itself and for it to make sense, right? And we as musicians, our artists, our performers, have to see ourselves as products and treat them as products, so that you could eventually see ahead when people could understand that it's serious business.
Branding yourself as a business.
Yeah, correct.
Another thing, right, before your appointment as the new CEO of CDC, right, like, were there any strong thoughts behind of it, or you were just like, boy, like, this opportunity really came to me, like, let me
what made you take up that role then?
Well, I was always a part of the CDC as the representative for PAN, because there's the board of directors, right? Just to explain it to you, there's appointed members from the cabinet, from the government, and there's elected members from the components of Carnival. I was an elected member, meaning the people who play PAN voted for me to represent them at the board level. So I spent approximately 8 to 9 years being that representative, while being that I was the production manager for CDC, right? So in a sense, it was very easy. It was just an easy
like
transition. But when I realized that the former CEO and I, Ashford Wood, I mean, big up to him, we were always working close together. I mean, he never had a situation where he don't call me and ask me, Rodney, what do you think? So he was, in a sense, indirectly grooming me and giving me a better appreciation and understanding for the overall Carnival Development Corporation, right? And when it came out, the application call came out the first time, and I didn't pay it any mind. And then the call was gone, and then the board of directors said that they were going to go again, right? Because I don't know if they didn't have enough or what's not. And I thought about it. A lot of persons reach out to me and say, boy, you should do it.
Yeah.
But in my head at that time, to be very honest, I said, boy, I really don't need a position to have an influence. I could just sit where I'm at and still have an influence. Then a lot of people keep reaching out, and I said, boy, I start thinking about the future for the CDC. Not saying that whoever applied wouldn't have been a good pick, but I was thinking about what I can
your
offer
ideas
in
and
that
so on.
capacity. So then I started to reach out to one or two brethren and some advisors that I have, and I said, what do you think about this? I mean, they give me their opinion. Now, the deadline for that was on Monday, you know, right? Monday at 12 o'clock.
Right. 12 noon?
12 noon.
Okay.
And I applied 10:34 on the Monday.
12:24.
10:34 that same Monday.
Oh. So a lot of thinking was behind it.
Yeah.
You showed them you had you in mind as well?
No, because I will tell you this, and to be very, very, very honest, when I applied, I said it to nobody other than one particular brethren,
Right.
which is Luther. You know Luther, the artist. That's my
Yeah,
very close
Luther,
brethren. He and Karen Vera was the last two persons I took the final nod from. They said, Rodney, go ahead. 10:34 the Monday, I applied. Mommy, sister, family, nobody knew I applied. When they shortlist the list of persons,
Right.
and my name came out, and I went to the meeting. Remember, I was still the representative for PAN.
Yeah.
When I went to the meeting, the chairman at the time, because once you're going to discuss the applicants, the persons who apply, and there's somebody in the room, you have to leave.
Okay.
So the chairman said, well, we're asking Rodney Small to leave. So everybody turned around and
Send
said,
a
why?
shock.
He said, because Rodney applied. Everybody was shocked. Nobody knew I applied
Yeah,
at,
you have the
until that
conversation
time.
with anyone.
The reason for it is that I didn't want anybody to influence it.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't want nobody to know or try to influence it or have any conversation about it. I wanted it to be a fair process. If what is on my application you think is something that is worthy of taking up the position,
Right.
that is what I wanted. No politician know about
Yeah,
it either.
yeah, yeah.
All the people saying, boy, you know, Ralph give that and thing. No politician knew
Right, you
until
don't have
my
on your
name
own.
went. So, went for the interview. I mean, after the interview, I said, well, boy, I did my part. Whether I get it or not, I'm still going to be doing the work that I've been doing for the CDC
So the last,
over the
the
years.
previous 8 years, 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, when it was shortlisted and I received the letter of appointment and approval, I felt good, right? And I didn't feel good because of me as an individual, only. I felt good knowing that, yes, I now have the opportunity to represent people like yourself, and not just people in general, but people who can relate to my story, and people who's within my generation could feel, you know, what young children say to me, boy, they feel good knowing that a young man could be a CEO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
the reality is people wouldn't want to hear it now, but I really don't care.
No.
I am the youngest CEO
Right.
in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So you know who younger than me, or you who younger than me, or my brethren they who younger than me, could have some sense of hope that once I continue to do my work, I could become
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I
youngest
say it is
year.
just you continuing to inspire the younger generation to, you know, like, yeah.
But for me, it was, I felt good as an individual, knowing that my work could be appreciated from that level.
Right.
In terms of, as I said, nobody at all influenced the decision, because I went through the entire process. You understand? They shortlist my name. I was called for an interview, and then I waited the period for them to give me. I went through the negotiation process, and then it was
Right.
done.
Okay.
You understand? So it wasn't as persons may say, a pull string. You know what I mean?
Right, there is also-
no, it
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
To be very, very honest, it wasn't. And I mean, I kind of liked it that way.
Right.
Because I wanted it to be fair. I mean, and as I said, even if it wasn't me, I would have still be doing the
Right.
work. You know what I mean?
And even though it means like the people who voted for you are the people who have been around you, they have seen your work for the previous years, and they
Yeah.
understand like, yeah, he could actually accomplish like what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, and then going there, because even upon applying, you know, I started thinking about the carnival that I would like to see in my head. I mean, being around, hearing what people want, what are some of the needs, what are some of the things that they're disgruntled about,
Right.
and start asking myself, how you feel you could change this? How you feel you could influence it? Because at the end of the day, how the CDC operates is that I don't have the final say on everything.
Right.
I may have the final say on some things, but I still have to report to my board of directors.
Okay.
But I feel the board of directors has some level of trust in me because they've seen my work before. And as I said, I've been around for a while. So for me, when I writing and thinking, I'm saying, boy, if I can't go there and move this from A to B, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Right? And if I know that I don't have the support system, I'm not going to do it. But I knew that there was a support system in place because there's the office, there's the board of directors, there's the committees, there's advisors. And plus I have my own machinery. I have people who I could call upon and say, boy, what do you think about this? You understand? How you feel I should do
so
this?
every process, you know,
Correct.
Yeah.
So now, when we see what is unfolding now, and you know what I mean, I would walk the street and hear people saying, boy, yeah, Vincy Mas, feel good again.
Yeah.
It sound good again.
You can get to that.
Yeah,
I'll get to that.
Your leadership skills, how has they evolved since being the CEO at CDC right now?
Tremendous. I mean, there's some things I just had to adapt quickly with. And I mean, because, I mean, running my own school, running my own business is completely different than being the head of a corporation. There's a lot of things that you have to follow. There's a lot of things that you have to be mindful of.
In charge of carnival for the whole entire country.
Yeah, and then, I mean, you have to practice a lot of emotional intelligence, one, because I'm somebody who, as a creative, very emotional. As a creative, I mean, we feed on our emotions. We're very passionate.
Yeah, there's
about
passion
things,
behind your work. There's
right?
passion behind your work.
So I had to, I mean, manage a lot of that, and knowing that you're operating in a space now where it just can't happen just like that. You understand? As a creative and managing people, I mean, there's certain things that I had to understand quickly. I mean, so the leadership skills did not change, but there's some additional stuff that helped to enhance it now. Because as you said, you have to understand that you're dealing with so many different personalities when it comes to carnival, festival.
We hear the same thing from the producers as well. You see, the artists, different personalities you have to adapt to, you have to know how to manage and so on.
Yeah, and I mean different principles and different rules and regulations and guidelines. But at the end of the day, while these things are in place, I'm also mindful that I'm serving the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines.
So then their feedback is very important.
Very critical. I mean, for those who follow my social media, and I know a lot of persons reached out, I start throwing out a lot of teasers. What do you think about this? What if we do this?
Yeah. We've been saying, asking for the people's opinion. I feel like that should be the use of social media.
Yeah, of course, and that is what the tool is for. And I see social media as a tool. And then what I realize is that when I throw these things out, even though I have a vision, because I have a 36-page document, you know, which was my vision for Vincy Mas.
Okay.
You understand? Because if I'm coming in as the CEO, I must have a vision for Vincy Mas. Not saying it's going to be the only thing, because you also have to now welcome other ideas and other people's opinion.
Yeah, or also not saying it's going to happen immediately, things will happen over time.
Correct. I mean, it's a 3-year plan. It's a 3-year plan, because what is happening now with Vincy Mas from my leadership is just a launch pad. It's just, I mean, because I'm only the CEO for 3 months. A lot of people don't realize that, I know.
I'm just 3 months?
Just 3 months I'm here.
Me know that?
No, I've been appointed in March.
Yeah, he has only been like
it's only 3 months.
Yeah, he has been. Yeah,
I mean, I was appointed in March, right? The launch of Carnival was the 10th of May.
Right.
That's weird because we're doing this for 3 months too.
Exactly. Yeah, it was about 3 months.
You understand? Yeah, so I never really come in with a lot of time. So from the time I hit it in March 17th, I had to get the ball rolling, and then person saw what happened at the launch. It's one of the biggest launch that we've ever seen.
We have to speak on that. I ain't trying to get you to
but the leadership skills, because of the environment and quite naturally, I just want to say this, is that I rest on the shoulders of some experienced men and women as the persons who make up the board. So I'm not going to say we're going to just forget about those who are there. They give a lot of support and advice. You know what I mean? So I'm in a safe place.
Yeah, there's a platform for you to just build on.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
So okay, truth be told, right, Vincy Mas, truth be told, the last couple of editions of Vincy Mas, like, people arguing that they weren't up to par of current standards, like previous standards and so on. But what I'll say in defense of people who were in the position before, I mean, they had lots of threat to deal with. They had corona and so on. So they were also, you know, battling and being strategic about execution during that time, right?
Yeah.
But
you lie, no, you mean this one, that one. You mean getting this one here?
Boy.
I shout him and tell him, bro, here we're getting that. Because I'm still not starting the podcast. Bro, here I getting out there. Because Rodney Small. So
you see what you feel?
So I feel this one very different. I say I getting out there.
Yeah.
Because me, Raheem,
Nice.
was out there early. And then I call him and say, alright, he could pull up on us now.
Right.
But when I reach out there now, I say, boy, we go out in a nice space. And it's so, how it's set up was just so different.
Yeah. It props as well, the dancers and all the different type of designs and things they have going on. The gate pass and everything.
It still kept the cultural balance with
Right.
that big no manner.
Nice twist.
Right, so
Nice
I feel like if a lot of people want to know like how that came in place as to moving the launch into Annisville now instead of where it usually be in town.
I mean, over the past few months, the tarmac has been a place where a lot of things been happening.
Yeah.
And for me, I mean, the launch was my baby. Right? I wasn't giving that up for nothing. Because in my mind, you know, this was really the first event for me being the CEO. So I wasn't leaving nothing up to chance. I mean, there are the other committees who are part of the planning. But when I tell you, I had sleepless nights conceptualizing, thinking about it. How do we make this different? Because I believe how you start is how you're going to end.
Yeah, sure.
And we needed a serious restart.
See,
I mean, as you mentioned, we're coming up from Corona, we're coming up from the volcano, we're coming up from burial. I mean, and then all of the other things that surrounding the negativity of Vincy Mas and CDC. So, one, the tarmac was a very popular venue. People like going to the tarmac. So I said, why not go to the tarmac? Then we wanted to make it free. So making it free.
I feel like the crowd showed that.
Yeah, making it free was something that is very there. And I want you guys to understand it, and those who are listening to me, because the storyline of the launch is everything that represents us as Vincentians. Because when you came, you saw the cultural elements.
Yeah.
Now, if we back up, we had a parade the Friday.
Yeah.
We're going around town. And that parade featured everything that was uniquely St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I think persons felt good on that Friday. And for those who didn't make up their mind whether or not are going, that Friday made them come on the Saturday.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, why should I sell you something that belongs to you?
How
you think about that?
Give them the culture.
So why should I sell you your heritage, right? Which is all of the cultural elements that you saw at the launch. It belongs to you. Why should I sell it to you? I'm not saying the carnival is going to be free, but the launch, we wanted it to be free because of those elements that we wanted to think. So there was that, and then, I mean, parking is very easy there.
Yeah, parking is as well, yeah.
And then the overall concept, because that is also something I do. I set designs, venue layout is something that is very dear to my heart. What we had in mind there, that could have fit in Victoria Park.
True.
The jump up from when you park coming in.
Yeah, the walkthrough was
and then
different.
the commercial area, because we have to show the business side, and then coming into the main venue.
That's what I like.
So there was 3 elements.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was like the most. So and the outside before you enter, we saw the dancers them.
Yeah.
I took snippet of that.
Yeah.
You saw pass it, then so as they enter, you a big start sign.
Yeah, correct.
So as they enter, you saw the the
venues.
booths them. We had different like surgical,
Different business. Yeah,
food.
correct.
And after that,
You come into the main
the
venue.
event.
come to the main venue.
Yeah, and then what we really wanted to do was feature everything Vincy, right? And the DJs were playing particular period of our music. So the first DJ was playing road march hits. The other DJ was playing soca monarch hits. The other DJ was playing road march hits. And it made a lot of people feel good knowing that we could appreciate where our music is coming from.
Yeah, look feel history.
DJ in the event, DJ them do the work. Big up DJ them.
Yeah.
I ain't complaining.
I feel like
They complain in the event.
I feel like if you know it was successful, because if it wasn't successful, you would have heard about it on the media. You would have seen the people posting, oh, this, I mean, like this, the venue and this and, yeah. So that's how you know for sure, like, yeah, boy, the launch was a success because he
You
no
pick
backlash
some
behind
artists,
it.
you pick some artists.
Yeah, we handpicked them.
Okay.
We handpicked them. I mean, we handpicked
Everybody
them.
want it, want it, though.
Yeah, boy.
Everybody want it.
Yeah, boy. I mean, and big up to all the artists, them, but it's a situation where we come put everybody, and we had a particular storyline. But even those who wanted to be on it and didn't get to be on it, they came and they support. And when I saw the crowd, I mean, it was a rewarding feeling for me. Because I was just a bit worried because I still wasn't able to measure where was the love and support for CDC still, even at that time. So when I saw 6:30, because we started at 6, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people there, and then I see 7 o'clock. A lot of people there, and I see 7:30. You could hardly see space in the venue. I mean, it was really a good feeling, but I mean, the launch was what we are saying now, that this is where we are, and this is how we want to do things. And I mean, we've been listening. Because every single thing that came to me on social media about recommendation and suggestion, we put it in the launch.
Okay.
We put it in the launch. People wanted this modernized look. We wanted a better setup.
Yeah.
We wanted to see the incorporation of this. We wanted more Vincy music. And every single thing was in the launch.
Yeah, and the thing I love about the launch, you launched here alone as well. You launched in
New York.
New York as well. There was a big screen showcasing, I think Kevin
Watch party. That was a watch party in Miami.
The watch party in Miami.
Toronto. And then New York.
And New York.
Yeah. I mean, again, technology, connecting people.
I feel like that you playing your role of being cultural ambassador as well.
Yeah.
Because like you put Vincy culture on a scale internationally as well.
Yeah.
And you definitely showed what Vincy culture has to offer during the launch. You know?
Yeah.
Even at the airport as well. where you met me.
Yeah.
We set up and everything.
Yeah.
I also big up Maya. Everything from Maya, then I don't think. Me, right? It's not possible. Big up yourself, Maya.
Big up yourself, Maya.
But yeah, he for that as well.
I mean, and then you have to big up the Tourism Authority, the Ministry of Tourism Authority, especially when they were able to get Kevin Little to connect. Because Kevin Little had a watch party with some very important people. And even Kevin Little as being Kevin Little. So they're watching our launch of Carnival and they're being so excited. I mean, the reviews from them and watching from Miami and watching what was happening at the launch.
Yeah.
They were mesmerized.
Exactly.
You understand where I'm coming from? So that is another major element of what we're going to be doing going forward, is being able to connect people with the mass, with the culture.
So that's the goal, Randy. That's the goal for this carnival in terms of for CDC. The goal is to connect.
The main goal is there are multiple of them, right? For us as a CDC, one is feel,
Okay.
right? And I'll explain that. You see, if you feel a particular way about something, you will treat it differently.
Right.
Just like how you feel for your child.
Yeah.
It's just like how you feel about this podcast. I know you guys feel good about it, so
yeah,
you're going to
sure.
be dedicated and committed to it. So our role is to make people feel again. Like, feel in terms of love Vincy Mas, love St. Vincent and Grenza, love the culture, right? And secondly, is giving everybody a sense of belonging. Make you feel like your boy Vincy Mas is mine, you know?
Yeah.
You understand? Once you feel that way, you know, once you feel you're a part of the thing, you know, you're going to push it. You see, like how you tell them, boy, pull up, because we feel like the thing was nice.
And
That is what I'm
so
talking
so
about.
done, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the strategy in that is just giving you a voice. That's why I say a lot of these things we put them on social media. And once you are given a voice and you see it materializing, you're going to feel good.
Right.
So all those postings on social media, when I throw out questions, I mean, and the response coming, right? If I show you my notepad on my phone, you go on, if I'm a crazy man, every single thing, and not everything I would take. There are things that I would look at and say, all right, yeah, we could use this. You understand where I'm coming from? People say they want to see the tongue decorated. And make it feel like carnival again.
Yeah.
Next week we're going to decorate the tongue. People saying, boy, we want a little vibes out airport when we land down. We did it last week.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So just listening for the people. Have
Yeah.
yeah.
The thing, you're not just you're saying what you're doing, you're actually doing it.
Do exactly,
So then,
execution is
I
there.
saw you on the press run with you went on GM. I can't remember the
GMGT.
Yeah,
In New York,
GMGT.
yeah.
So then before we see our CEO, okay then, CEO the out there, point in the walk, down the interview, bam, he gone so. And we seeing it, you putting them on, you showing us, you taking us with you and the social media as well.
Exactly.
We're seeing everything you're doing. So we say, boy, yeah, he put in the work.
Yeah.
They definitely feel like if the people are part of the decision making,
As
definitely
well.
give people them like they get to being satisfied because like boy, I want to organize a carnival boy, give back a little carnival feeling. That happening.
yeah.
When you come in the airport now, 'cause a lot of people come in regularly just for carnival.
Boy.
And soon as you come off the plane, you come in the
Vibes.
airport, vibes one time. You're saying like, yeah boy, I reach Vincy Carnival, Vincy Mas.
Not just that, even the rebranding of Vincy Mas and CDC. Because people used to cuss Vincy Mas flyers, cuss how we do social media. And we decided that, no, okay, people them didn't like how the social media was running. So we bring in Project Food. Jonad.
Yeah.
Right.
Jonad is the one who's running our social media platform.
Okay.
And not just him, because we are utilizing a lot of other persons
Right.
to build content, to create content. We have a group with 300 influencers of people who just love the Mas and just wanted to feel like if, boy, we want to do something for Vincy Mas.
Yeah.
Right.
But we never really activate them. But now they're activated, they feel that sense of belonging, like, yeah, boy, this is my
It
dad.
definitely-
Remember we brought
yeah.
ourselves at the hottest carnival?
Come on.
It definitely feeling like carnival again, eh?
Yeah, I mean, and I could tell you this. I mean, to be very honest and not to sound modest, but we haven't really, I haven't really activated a lot of what I really want to do yet.
Yeah.
It's just
So we still have a lot more in store.
Yeah, just listening to the people and say, all right, some quick wins. They say they want this, let me see how we could activate it. They say they want that, let me see how we could. Because remember now, again, I'm only in this job for 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm not, I mean, there's some quick things that I would like to see happen now. But you see, next year, it's a whole different,
Growth again.
whole different year.
Growth again, another
Because I already have a better understanding of what's happening.
Okay.
It's a short period, I don't know.
Yeah, so when
So you see, after Carnival,
Yeah.
when we sit down now, and we start to roll things out, because we have the time. After Carnival is July, August.
Yeah.
And then next Carnival is the next year.
Yeah,
So there
until
should
like
be
me
no
again.
excuse.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
So it's really to looking at some really quick wins and impact, and those things were coming from just listening to the public of what they want. I mean, we've revamped a lot of the things that we're going to be doing. A lot of these shows, we're revamping them. We're making them more attractive. We're packaging them differently.
Right.
We're rolling them out differently. You know what I mean? Because the So-Come and Ask semi-finals is back.
Yeah.
We stopped
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that for a long time.
Yeah.
And then we make it a cooler fete. The last cooler fete we had this climax.
That's true.
Yeah.
We make it a cooler fete, you know what I mean? And a daytime party, a beach party.
Yeah.
I mean, everything can be in the night.
I'm just telling you what I was like something yesterday also.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make it cool again. Too much night party.
Yeah,
And then
boy.
you,
All of them actually. All of
I
them.
have one more question in terms of like tradition. Is there any are there going to be any more traditional events you're going to like bring back? Like say you posted on your gram about the monkey band. If you wanted. Are there going to be any more?
Of course.
Me know too much
About it.
yeah.
And that's
Me
why-
know too much about monkey band, eh?
I used to say monkey man for my mother time, yeah. There I hear talking about the monkey
And
man
I
and thing and so
those
on.
are traditional staples inside that.
Carnival. I will tell you this. Every single thing that we do, every event that we do is going to have a feature of our traditional
Okay.
heritage.
Okay.
Right? Very much so. Because it creates a sense of belonging and identity.
Right.
So even the young, because I see people on the post saying, why is that? I don't know what that is.
See,
But
because
I don't blame them.
That's the tell you, the traditions have been out for so long,
Yeah.
so now introducing them back now to this generation.
Yeah.
It come like a new feeling, it come
Yeah.
like something, yeah.
Correct. And then because it's new, it creates curiosity. And I might say, boy, now I want to see this to be. You understand? But every single thing that we do going forward is going to have that traditional element. Right? I mean, monkey band is the equivalent of jab jab in Grenada.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So the brief history I got about it is that.
Yeah. And it's been around before jab jab. But the thing is, Grenada,
Right.
hug it up. They brand it, they market it, and everybody want to go Grenada for jab jab.
That's the thing.
yeah.
That's
But
the
I can
thing.
tell you this.
That's the thing.
By the time we are done with Vincy Mas 2025, everybody would want to be a part of Monkey Band. I could tell you that because the question I put out, I put it out for putting out because I
Right.
know we're bringing a Monkey Band.
Alright, well, to the viewers, this is because, yeah, yo, Vincy Mas come back for the throne. The guy now Vincy Mas come back for the throne. Another thing though, Rodney, we want to talk about, right? Regarding CDC events and the dates and so on, right? Because we know other private parties, other private events be happening sometimes on the same day or a day before, whatever the case may be. And I feel like if
It kind of
it hinders the crowd turnout.
Turn out for the CDC events.
I mean, I think that we need variety. because not everybody would want to come to a CDC show. Not everybody would want to go to a private promoter show. I mean, I've had a lot of meetings with all the private promoters just to see how we all can exist in the same space and giving respect and giving space for each other.
Right.
So what we have done is that we've not stopped anybody from doing their shows on the same day as a CDC show. But what we have done, we'll ask you to finish at a particular time. So give people time to go to the CDC show, or vice versa. We give people time to go to the other private shows, right? So it's basically to exist in the same space, because not everybody is going to like a CDC show, and not everybody going to like a private promoter. So just to create that balance, but it have some particular shows. Excuse me, for example, Soca Monarch. I mean, that is a flagship event for Carnival, not just CDC. So we have spoken to the promoters who normally have events on that day. And we have a nice working relationship where that is concerned. So, I mean, CDC shows are going to be on a nice high. I mean, we have one of the new events called Rum and Rhythm. Everybody's asking what is that. I mean, but we're going to get very aggressive with the promotion of that right after the semi-finals, which is this Sunday. I mean, because we don't want to distract it too much, right? But Rum and Rhythm is a new event. We have another event called An Evening with the Legends, which is the Calypso, because we think Calypso is legendary. Yeah, Beckett and Posa and them guys. I mean, because we still have to preserve that element of our culture. I mean, we have the all-white party, which we call Evo. I mean, that's for more of the mature people. Then we have Junior Calypso and Soca, which we change the time. Before it used to start at 2 o'clock. But at 2 o'clock, when you're at work, you don't really get to see. I'll get to come to the park.
That was the problem previously.
So we changed the time to 4 o'clock. So when you're done work, you could go home and come back, or you could leave from work and come and see the youngsters. I mean, come and be a part of the thing. I mean, right now, even Carnival Monday and Tuesday, we have made some adjustments with that. I mean, where Carnival Monday now, we extend the time.
See, this is the kind.
I don't know why you here like come down to 10 o'clock.
This is the kind of resolving the people them could stand behind. This is the kind of resolving the people them could support and say like, yeah, boy, like
Question now, Ronnie, you extended the time for when Carnival it ain't finish the Tuesday. Carnival Tuesday. Like, what do we have events after Carnival Tuesday?
Well, it's not really me, you know. What I would say is the CDC and the police. Because the police who has the final say with these things. And we had a meeting with them, and the police feel the same way. The people enjoy themselves. I mean, so after Carnival Tuesday, you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do anything else that you want to do. You could do cool long parties, you could do parties. And you've seen some promoters who are already promoting things for those days. Right? The CDC might chuck in another event there. But it's really because people don't really leave directly after Tuesday. There are some people who stay on, and the intention is to really go on longer to create a nice vibe for the summer. You know, we're going into summer, and then give people a little extra time to make a little bit more money. Because the economic activities is important for the country. And I mean, so extending Carnival Monday to midnight is just to give you a little bit more time as a reveler. I mean, even the people, I mean, it has some people who you never see with an icebox, you see them with an icebox on Carnival. So they make a little extra dollar. You know what I mean?
You see, because he working hard behind the scenes for us and that. So our responsibility right now is for us to show up and for us to be responsible when we show up. Then we just share love and just turn out and just enjoy yourself right now. You understand?
Big. So coming up, boy, you made a post putting in, we're talking about how, not talking to the artists them, which is I like the post because some feel when they go on the stage and you make the crowd jump up and down,
you win.
And when the most big and fire and all this and that,
you win.
It means that okay, I get the biggest forward, I supposed to win. Which are well, I can understand the different criteria.
Criteria behind it.
Yeah, completely different. I mean, I'm now only a judge. I judge Soca Monarch in the rural areas. And I mean, I judged 2 rural Soca Monarch before I made that post. And it wasn't sitting well with me to say, boy, Rodney, don't be a hypocrite. The artists them need to hear it, right? And that's why I put in the post also. If you need help, I don't mind helping. Or I could get people to help you. And unfortunately, nobody reached out, so I guess everybody good. right?
Then we expect less complaints then.
What we would see is that after you judge a competition, you would see a lot of artists go on social media and cussing the judges.
Yeah.
Them cheat. But then a lot of the artists don't sit down and pay attention to the criteria. Now, Soca Monarch has become a thing where everybody feel crowd response is what wins the competition.
I was like that.
Crowd response is the least points of a criteria. It's 10 to 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Musical arrangement is 25. Melody is 20. Stage presence is 20. Performance is 25. Why is it that you feel because you have 100 people screaming for you or 10 man spraying a bacon means that you win? What happened to all them other things that we mentioned?
Makes sense too. Sense too.
The flip side of that is that I also don't blame these artists alone, because if they don't have anybody who's teaching them or who is showing them how these things are done, you understand, I don't expect them to understand it. So what I realized is that we have some work to do. And one of the things that we've done at the CDC before even I was in this capacity is that we've done a lot of workshop with the artists.
Okay.
Let them understand the nature of competition.
They're sure?
Yeah, shop way.
Do you think the help is being offered, the guidance is being offered?
They want to be the baddest thing I went on. For some reason, competition, they do like competition. I don't want they can be friendly competition. Look at Hans and
Scarpian and Gio right now. Yeah. Mazak and Gio right now. Yeah.
It's friendly competition. And everybody want
entertaining too.
Yeah. But I mean, they have to understand the nature of competition. Yes, you'd want to win, but you also have to understand going into a competition, you can also lose. Right? And don't try to blame everybody.
Yeah.
Sit down with yourself. And I think because even we're going to have a workshop on this Saturday. I mean, I'm going to be the facilitator, right? Where we're going to let the artists understand what it takes going into a competition, right? So nobody has an excuse. We give you an understanding of what it is. But I feel like we need more of these things because the artists, them hard. Them have some nice music. They're hard. And it has some stupidness too. I mean, we have to be honest, but majority of it, we have some hard music, some real good music, but then the artists, them just need a lot of guidance. I mean, I don't ever try to judge any young artist based off of other artists because not everybody experiences the same.
Right.
I mean, I give everybody an equal chance and see how I can help, or see how I can get help for them. Because for me, the mission is the overall product. It's not really about, oh yeah, boy, you're a bad artist, or boy, you're a thing artist. It's about when we all represent and go out there, how does St. Vincent music industry look? That is how we see it. How does Soca Monarch look? Because I can tell you this now, Soca Monarch is hard this year, you know. It's going bad. I mean, by the hook or by the crook. Because I love Soca Monarch. I used to be one of the persons from the CDC, the only person who wanted to produce Soca Monarch. When I say produce Soca Monarch, the person who used to coordinate it. Because Soca Monarch is a grimy thing.
I mean, I feel it's basically the main event of Carnival, really. And
Super Bowl for Carnival.
Yeah, Super Bowl for Carnival.
That's why I called it. And I used to be the person, and the artist could tell you, Friday night when everybody lime in, because remember that's Carnival Friday.
Right.
I used to be in Victoria Park, sit down with the artists, round the clock, going through their lighting script, going through their script, going through their performance with each and every one of them. Not leaving there until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Sometimes there's some artists where I would just sit and sleep because they're going to perform Color Fete. So when they done Color Fete, they want to come sit down and deal with the thing. I had no problem doing that because at the end of the day, the mission was the overall product. Magical could tell you. It have a year when Magical came down after the crane. I don't know if you remember that.
He came down. That was the one with he grabbed on.
Yeah.
He grabbed on fire. That one the best so coming out. The rivalry.
Yeah, it was heavy.
Yeah.
And Magical had me waiting for him. And I stood there and I wait for him. Because at the end of the day, I feel that's also my role to help. So while everybody liming and partying that Friday night is when you just have the same Evo, the all-white party and the Color Fete them. So while everybody partying, I used to sit down in CDC boardroom, writing the artists them script.
And the results show them.
Yeah, you understand? So this year now that I'm the CEO of Carnival, right? So come on, getting hard, bro. We're going hard, bro.
Which one are we talking about? Because when you say Soca Monarch, most people refer to the power Soca, eh?
Both of them. Because we have some wicked ragga soca. You see,
the ragga live up now, eh?
You see the beef we're going on with them, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really
You are
serious.
live look now because of it. Gio and
Yes.
Hanson
Yes.
going on. Yeah.
So we can't see that vibe going as a CDC and don't do our part. So come not gonna look hard. It's gonna feel hard. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be however you want to explain or experience your soca. That's how it's going to
Well,
be.
the Raga and Power Soca be on the same night.
The same night again. It's going back to the same night.
Going back to the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Been kind
We
of.
kind of separated before.
Yeah, which I mean.
But I think it's a night for us to celebrate our music. As
Yeah,
much
to
as it's a
celebrate the culture,
competition.
yeah, altogether.
Because people say like they find the Raga Soca don't really get much love.
Yeah, the crowd turn out and so on.
Yeah, I mean, because it's on the softer side.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the crews and them don't really come for raga.
Well, man like me too, when I come in my football socks and my
Come on.
my soccer pants and my shirt and it's full run up and
Done. Yeah, man. Yeah. So even that element, we have some things coming for that.
Alright.
I mean, for the men of them who want to come and just party, and there's so come like a particular dress code too, no? As you know, explain, they have on your football socks.
That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the thing before, like, yeah, because you know, big and thing, everything else, yeah.
You see down on the flat, that was for all the rowdy people.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, so people who just want to sit down.
Yeah,
Because
Raga Soca, that
my mother likes so come on,
yeah.
my mother likes sit down in the stand and watch all the creativity on stage. Because I remember them man just bring all kind of nice props and all kind of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who like that. But it are people who just mesmerize when they down in there. 'Cause I coming from down in there. I used to be with Mad Posse. There's a crew named Mad Posse from Sinai. And it's down in there we used to get on bad
Because some
party.
people just come for a specific song performance thing, like
Yeah,
a song they're doing road right now.
But
But
back to the rural though. I think boy, I don't know. I think rural so coming out them. I know like they dying they ain't getting much
Attention, like they used to
attention
do.
how we
Yeah.
focus to the main event, which is so coming out.
I think from a CDC standpoint, we've been looking at them, and I could assure you that next year we're going to put more energy behind them.
Yeah, because Chalakwa,
yeah, I mean,
Chalakwa boy.
yeah, I think it's the marketing too. A lot of things were happening. So what
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
trying
yeah.
what we're trying to do is try to see how we can restructure them so that each of them could have their own time.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of clashes. Well, yeah,
So
so
for the win, you saw coming out
Georgetown.
there was Lee was jump up
during the same time.
during the same
Yeah,
time.
so
Yeah, so I feel like the
we have to
clashing-
look at those things and being able to give everybody their own space because people go into them, you know.
Yeah,
People love. I love rural
Yeah.
because for me, it's a time for me to go to them and see what people gravitate into, what they like, and I mean what the kind of energy. So you know what I mean?
Also, why you think people want to know right now, though? Because speaking about rivalries and so on, you don't know, the rivalry if it pass maybe 2 decade and a half, Skinny Fabulous and Fireman Hooper, right?
Yeah.
And then those two now came together and have a song, and the song doing mad numbers,
Europe.
yeah, Europe. Like, I feel like, yeah, as this song name, Erupted,
Yeah.
basically, right? So, what's your view on that?
I mean, it's a great collaboration.
Overdue.
Overdue, and I mean, you see the love it's getting.
Yeah.
For sure,
Because
for
quite
sure.
naturally, and I would tell every young, because I planning to do an album, right? Well, I started it, and my album is going to be filled with collaborations.
Right.
The reason being, collaborations is a plus, because the love from Fireman fans and the love from Skinny fans is going to come together and create what it's creating. Now, I thought your question would have been different, because there are plenty of people asking me if they enter in the song.
So come on. I
Yeah.
Well, I would not know, because
Oh.
Fireman is the reigning Soca champion,
Yeah.
and he could decide whatever he wants to do, whenever he wants to.
Right.
I don't think you're going with that though. I watching it last time, I don't feel you're going with that.
Why?
Boy, that would have meant that playing field.
But I heard news, right? I heard news that Skinny Fabulous will be performing for Soca Monarch.
As our guest artist?
No, as like competition wise. That's
No,
what I heard.
he didn't enter with anything, because he's not on the list for Sunday.
Right, 'cause I heard he
But-
entered to compete. So I was like, okay.
Nah, but again, we don't know what Fireman is going to do. Fireman could decide to bring that.
Yeah.
With him and Skinny.
But like you say, you're tough this year because I banking and me also I banking because I come.
Well, remember they have to get past Sunday.
Yeah.
So after Sunday, you could say we're banking on. Because you could say banking on somebody now, and they don't make it past Sunday. Right? I also not think.
I look it up for the female.
Yeah, I banking on everybody.
Yeah,
I supporting everybody.
Okay,
But I think the conversation now is what you just mentioned. Everybody want to know what Fireman going to do.
Yeah.
I wonder if he...
I know, I think Fireman have a couple two for jobs.
Boy.
Yeah.
I feel
But when the thing is, when you enter right, you're supposed to enter the song you're going to enter the competition with as well.
Not the reigning monarch. The person
so
who
you
won,
can-
he have automatic.
So he have the entity of the
So-
surprise now.
Yeah, he could decide whenever he whatever he want to use.
Okay, I see how the
You
mystery coming in
understand?
play now.
Yeah,
I
so
see the
he,
mystery coming in play
because
now.
that's the privilege of being the winner from the year before.
So nobody just never know
So
what's coming
if Friday morning he wake up and say, boy, I'm going with the cow jump over the moon.
Yeah.
He go with that.
Yeah.
Question, right? You could list us 3 of your favorite soca songs locally, right now.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, this year. 3 of your local, 3 of your favorites right now.
Boy, you can't
Not
leave it on.
no biasness or another song you feel go win anything. Just 3
Yeah,
songs.
just
Yeah,
three.
just 3
You
songs
can't
you
do
feel
that
like you like.
Then people might say, boy,
Fine.
I mean, you can't listen
he
to
has the CEO. Oh, you go say you have favorite
No, it's
song.
just
Next
you
thing
I
they
love
win.
soca.
Next thing the song win and they say, boy, the CEO cheat. But I mean, I'm still an individual and I can share.
Yeah, they love for the
And let me put this out there. I mean, I love all of the artists them.
Yeah.
And I think the artists them know that. I love a lot of the songs. But there's just some that I would grab to.
And repeat.
Not even 3, boy. 3 is hard, boy.
Five.
I'm a
5.
wicked boy.
Five.
I like Problem Child.
Freeland.
Afraid Hard.
Freeland.
I actually have a cover that I did. I record a cover.
Yeah.
A steel pan cover for it. I mean, I'll drop it soon. I like that whole Oxygen rhythm with Gio and Shura and
So,
all of that. I like No Sleeping.
Yeah.
No Sleep. This youth boy, I forget his name, boy.
This song good.
Oh God, it's Ryan or Rumble.
Ryan TBG.
Tuli.
Tuli Mas.
I like that too.
This song them they road right now.
Yeah, and of course, my brethren, Hans,
And you want
they'll party like we.
Yeah.
I mean, that, boy, I like plenty. I like Chowder thing too. Chowder K is very different. I like Bongo Prime.
Right. You got Bongo Prime.
I like how the females, you see Kelly and Angie, and I think there's Shanique too. We have to big them up. Because
For sure.
we haven't been seeing these females.
Yeah, they're pushing the males right now, eh?
Yeah, the females, them very, 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 very loud. And I mean, we have some nice calypso too. Because me's a culture man, eh?
Right.
It has some calypsos that you probably wouldn't hear them because calypsos don't really record. Right? But there's some calypsos that I like. But you see them soca songs, and there's some raga soca that I heard during the prelims that are not hearing on radio. And they're really
That's the case.
They're hard. I mean, I like the Fireman and Skinny too, but I
sure.
can't name all. You know what I mean? That's the problem. But
I've been listening to today.
but my playlist have a lot of them things that I like Shelling by Gio and Shura.
Yeah, bad style.
Very hard
Bad
too.
style.
I mean, and Casper G have a nice song too. I like.
No problem.
Yeah,
problem.
I like that too. I like Lexi, the little 11-year-old.
Yeah, big up Lexi.
Boy, I tell you, it's real.
Big up Lexi as well.
It's real music. But I mean, for me, I just like the direction in which it is going, and then for me, I like the uniqueness. Everybody had their own style, and I like that. I mean, there's some older folks who might say, "Boy, you really like that," no? But me, I like it, especially when something different. And see, when that's the boss pan scene, by when I was a big Datsy fan, because of course, because Datsy different.
Uniqueness he came with. He
Yeah,
came with a
he's
unique.
different.
He created our own culture for himself.
Yeah,
Like I say,
different.
He created a culture for himself. Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And then the Just Bus camp and the GC camp and the Junction camp. I like them things.
Basically, we could say like the trajectory of which the soca music moving in the country right now. I feel like it.
Yeah, boy, we on a high.
Yeah,
bro. And I want to give all some history now for the past 10 years. And I see a bad boy producer now walking the place.
no what's I mean.
For the past 10 years, St. Vincent and the Grenadines been dominating the soca industry. I mean, however that looks like for you.
Right.
I mean, someone might say, boy, it's real foolishness we're singing.
Nah.
But if you look at our producers, some of the biggest soca songs right now were produced by Vincent Chance, are written by Vincent Chance.
Yeah, we have
You understand? And it's full time we move away from the foolishness and the negativity and the fight down. You understand? Because I have Jamaican producers and friends who come here and say, boy, if all they could be doing this thing part time, because we only have few of us who doing this thing full time. if you do this part-time, what will happen if you do it full-time? They also add, if you do it collectively, what we going to do? We still fighting, we still fighting the foolish battles.
Because since Brave, when Brave took off from Dynamite, each year from that going onwards, we had a hit song.
Yeah, we have some we reach the Caribbean levels and so, even internationally.
Rashid.
Yeah, man.
No, Rashid. Sora.
Chowda.
Yeah, man. And then we had Zeke. What it
Yeah,
up?
Zeke.
Which is
Classic.
Which is Diplo playlist.
Yeah.
Diplo just play that song. Yeah?
Right, true.
And
I mean,
Diplo's one of the
Biggest,
yeah.
R&B and so on, whatever.
I mean, we have problem writing for everybody.
Boy.
We have skin
Yeah, boy.
writing for everybody. You know what I mean? We have Captain John doing anything.
And there was a Vincy talented.
Yeah. Our problem is that we are our own enemies, you know. We fight against ourselves too much.
Why is that?
I mean,
I don't understand it. Because
I don't understand it either. I just don't. I
think
don't
we
pay no
realize
mind.
like the power that comes with integration, right? Because you see, we integrate, we come together. You have a knack for this, you have a knack for this, I have a knack for this. We come together, we create something.
Yeah.
That, that could be bigger than.
And as I mentioned,
just us.
for me, I see contribution. I don't see competition, because I feel you have a part to play. You understand? Because if you look in this store here, there's multiple people who came together to make this store what it is.
Yeah.
The man who put up that ACD is not you.
Right.
The man who painted
The man
is
with
a
the
different
flooring
man.
and so on.
The man. So it means that we all could come together and create something that is great. You understand? We just have to understand our role and our place. And I think sometimes that does be the issue.
Right.
I mean, but right now, Vincy Mas, I mean, and we have to create a Vincy Mas. We have to create a Vincy Mas that is not only the time frame in which we place it.
Yeah.
Vincy Mas has to be something throughout the year. I mean, people have to be, because we have carnival on every month, over somewhere in the world there's a carnival every month.
Yeah, for sure.
And Vincy must be present, because one of the things that I would want to measure a lot of the success from where I'm at now is being able to see a lot more artists fly from after Vincy Mas.
Yeah.
So building networking capacities, I mean, connecting people, connecting artists with people outside of St. Vincent is one of the major things that I would like to see. So outside of the Problem Child and the Skinny Fabulous and the Wetty Beats and all that, I want to see some other young artists jump on plane and go out there and do them things.
That's what we're doing this here too.
Right now we have with Kenny Manton and so on, because Kenny recently went to England to perform.
Kenny Hard,
for
Mason
sure.
Hard, El
Exactly.
Punk Hard. You see them men, I mean, for me, the Almighty know why he ain't make me a millionaire, All the money, you know what I mean, I ship them out. And the thing is, that's why you see us going to New York, and that's why you see us going to different places, right? Because we want to create the networking. Because one of the things that for Vincy Mas this year is that we are partnering with the Labor Day committee. Right? If you've been following the social media, we went to Labor Day and we sat down with the Labor Day committee, the president and the chairman, right? And he's so excited about Vincy Mas. So we're going to sign off on a partnership where they're coming for Vincy Mas. They're going to come and experience Vincy Mas and promote Labor Day.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to Labor Day and do the same.
Okay.
So there's the opportunity for us to travel with some of the artists.
Yeah,
so the artists
a lot
them
of
who
big
listen,
things on the way. A lot of big things on the way.
so the artists them who are listening, make sure you have your passport
Exactly.
and your visa
See,
ready.
we can see this. Okay, the CDC looking out for the artists and internet growth and everything right now. He takes it from the man himself right now.
I mean,
big things coming. So let's make sure you stay organized, stay consistent, and things will definitely happen for sure.
Yes, do your thing.
For sure. Another thing is, boy, a last thing I feel I want to touch on, right? Like with your busy schedule right now, how do you make time? It's surprised you're able to pull up today, because the same boy, Rodney might be so busy, boy, within the midst of carnival and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it is very critical, and that is part of leadership. It's very critical for you to manage your time. It's also very hard. It could be very hard, because I know there are plenty of people now who saying, boy, Rodney, message me back, or you answer a call. But you know what I mean, there are things that you have to make time for, and I feel like this is something that I had to make time for, not just for me as an individual, but for me to come in and explain some of the things that you're asking for the benefit of the people who's watching.
Right.
So, and as I said earlier, we have to give support to things of this nature. I mean, and I'm saying we, meaning the CDC and even myself. I mean, but time right now, I don't even know what that is. Because as I said, it's my first carnival as the CEO. And I'm going to make every single minute count. Right? I mean, we're not going to get everything right. I mean, just like everything in life. There's some things that you might slip up a little bit. There's some things that you're going to score.
Sure.
And I mean, and there's some things that I would say, no, we're not going to do everything overnight. There's some things that would take time.
What period of time?
Yeah, it would take time. But for right now, the time is being managed wisely, because again, we have to create those impacts, right? But for me, I just probably get home about after midnight.
Oh.
So I go home and I just meditate, settle down, try to do some personal stuff, because I still have my career. My musical
Exactly.
career.
I just say, no, you're still very young. Still very young.
I need to forget about that. Look, right now, I see him as a CEO, so then I see him, boy.
Yeah. And I tell people that you're not going to take that away from me. I'm still going to be playing music. I'm still going to be doing productions. I'm still going to be promoting.
Right.
You understand? You're not going to take that away from me. I mean, while I give priority to this job, right? I'm still going to be doing performances, because I mean, I just came from a festival called One Fest.
Right.
Carnival. Shut it down. I still perform at Sanders every weekend.
Why is that all about? The One Fest?
It's really a weekend of culture and the arts. So you have a fashion show night with local designers, real nice. I mean, then you have a musical night, which is the Saturday night. It was me, Darren Andrews, the band Silk.
Andrews, drum player and so on.
Violin and all that.
Yeah.
And then the Sunday we had the Raga Soca beach party with Bomani and Hansdan. So it's really a nice weekend of different things. I mean, showcasing St. Vincent on a resort.
Right.
A really nice resort, and I mean, Soho House. So it was really nice, and as I said, I still going to be playing. I mean, I actually have a track that we're going to drop.
I know if you remember, but when you came in and we started speaking, and the segment started, one of the first thing we told you was Rodney Small, the man that gets it done. And as you can see, getting everything done right now.
Yeah, you have to, and then you have to be able to understand that no man is an island and no man stand alone. So although people would be seeing me, right, as a face, I have a lot of people who I lean on for support and ideas, and a lot of people who just want to work with the thing. It's the first time I see so many persons reach out and say, boy, Rodney, if you want help, and just say the word. So I don't want to sit down here and make people feel like it's all about me alone. I mean, there's a lot of people around who have been helping. I mean, as a leader, you also have to be able to follow.
Sure.
You understand? And you also have to be able to empower people. So there are a lot of persons who right now, I just grateful for them. You know what I mean? Because I cannot do this alone. Bro, don't make anybody fool it. Cannot do it alone. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of embracing the people around you and just taking everything a step at a time. It gets frustrating too. Because again, not everybody operates on the same pace and the speed as you, with the same mindset. So as a leader now, you have to be able now to step back and say, all right, cool. How do I look at the strengths in the room and attack them? So Nova now, he might be a man boy, but he good with negotiating prices and all. So Nova, you go and talk to the artist then with the price. Yeah. But Brett, you know, boy, he really good at social media now. So you just empower them. As I said, the mission is a sense of belonging. Once we feel like, if boy, this is our thing, boy, we're gonna love it up. We're going to love it up, and we're going to do everything, and we're going to protect it. And that's why I want people to protect Vincy Mas. You know what I mean? And Vincy Mas in this context don't mean CDC only. All elements of Vincy Mas. Because it's a festival. So the barber man them must benefit. The man them who's selling the clothes must benefit. That is what festival is all about. A festival is not just events. Because you have to look good. You have to dress good. You have to smell good. You have to eat. You understand where I'm coming from? You have to buy your drinks. You understand?
Now for sure, well, there you have it, guys. You have it from Rodney Small himself. You hear the ideas, you hear everything he had planned for you. You get a grasp of concepts, like things that happened before and so on. So, yeah.
Rodney, why for this?
Just come.
Just come out.
I mean, Simmons now one of the cheapest carnival, no? It is the cheapest carnival. Because majority of the CDC shows is $30, no? You see, if you go Trinidad, the cheapest show in Trinidad is 500 TT. That's 200 EC. 250 EC. Yeah. General ticket,
Boy, I have that one.
But that's the point I'm making. And I mean, so we have something that belongs to us. And I just want people to stay safe. I mean, we had quite a number of different meetings with the police. Because, I mean, Carnival is a happy place. I mean, and the men, them, or the women, whoever involved in it. And we just leave that little thing alone.
Yeah,
the
for
violence thing, and then we just enjoy ourselves. I mean, I just hoping that the Almighty would bless us with a carnival with no disaster.
Yeah, no casualties.
Because what people don't realize is that for the past 3 years, we have had some sort of crisis. From COVID,
Burial.
from volcano, and then last year burial. So every day when I say my prayer, I just say, boy Almighty, I know you ain't really too happy with the carnival thing, but just give a little ease up this year.
But personally, I feel this year will be that year.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, like since the launch, I feel, I say, boy, something just feel different with this.
Yeah, we had that, but our carnival is in the hurricane season. I mean, so these are things that we have to be mindful of.
They have to look out for the weather and so on, yeah, for
but,
sure.
I mean, once all goes well, trust me, we're going to have a great carnival. Right now, if you call any hotel, guest house or Airbnb to try book a room,
Nah, you ain't shoot.
full.
Never rentals and so right now.
No man. And we just have to just put our house in order. I mean, from a CDC standpoint and from the private promoters, because I also want to just encourage the private promoters. Nothing wrong with putting a piece of Vincy in the event. Nothing wrong with putting a piece of the culture in the event, because at the end of the day, you don't have the people there.
For sure.
The people are going to come to the shows. I mean, nothing wrong with putting in some element of the culture, some element of our tradition.
I mean, it's a part of what we are and it's a part of what we are, you know.
Touch a class.
Correct. Yeah, man. That event was hard.
Boy, I missed that event.
Yeah, lovely. I mean, and she's a hard worker too. I remember when Chantal reached out, she asked her a lot of questions and we gave her some support too.
Yeah.
I mean, from the CDC, and there is a lot of things we're doing, because even tomorrow, there's a thing called Touch the Mic in Sinal by the clinic. Right? We give them some support too. I mean, and if you realize, one of the things that we did is that every artist who won any of the roles so coming on, we give them an automatic entry. Right? It's just to show the artists that we support them what you're doing. I mean, we are part of what you're doing, and again, a sense of belonging. But I just want to encourage persons just to stay safe. I mean, like, we enjoy ourselves. I mean, it is going to be a great year, a year where, you know, we could feel good. And my mission is for the visitors, when you leave St. Vincent, whether after Carnival Tuesday, and you sit down on that plane, and you look through that window, you say, boy, St. Vincent and the guy needs. That is the kind of feel. I want you to travel on that plane and just reminisce. And we as Vincentians, I mean, let's stay as beautiful as we are. The visitors like us. We are very friendly. We're very welcoming. That we maintain that. If you see somebody who's a visitor and they look like they're lost or they don't know, because we're going to put up some road maps, CDC is going to put up a big road map where you can find this, where you could find that with some keys. So this is the police station, this is the taxi stand, this is the food court. I mean,
I need to know.
But nah, big up, yeah. I want to food tongue there. That's what.
Yeah. So
with the map, we go ahead.
Man, yeah. So we are just all do we part. Once all of us do we part, we're gonna be nice. You know what I mean? The music, for me, in my opinion, I like it. I mean, I think the music is what push a festival to. No matter what the food, the people come here for the festival. People stop coming for beach and waterfall. People coming for your way of life. I mean, your way of life. It have plenty of people who I know I have brethren to come in here. I see Lani who are Vincy weed. I mean, I see Lani who are strong rum. I mean, these are the things that you hear people talking about.
For sure,
even that thing when we did at the airport, we had red belly. And people rush for the red belly as they come off the plane. A woman cry, water out her eyes, because she haven't been home in a very long time.
Right.
And for her to pick up a piece of red belly and put it in her mouth.
Right off the airport, welcome in.
Boy, when I see that, I say, you know what? Every Wednesday and Sunday we went by the airport and do this thing. Every Wednesday and Sunday from next week. To welcome our people. Give you that sense of belonging. Let you feel again like, boy, this is our thing. I mean, so, Vincy Mas 2025, and I mean, I would want to say thank you in advance, because I know I probably won't be able to come back here until. And why you bring me back after the festival?
Nah, no, we
so everything we talk about now,
we had a breakdown now.
Everything we talk about now, when we come back now, you're going to say, well, let me take them off.
Alright then.
You understand? Yeah. But so, I mean, I want to say thank you to you guys, and I want to encourage you guys, and I want, which one the camera watching? I want everybody to like and subscribe and share the man them thing. Big them up, because, you know, I just blaze 25 and I go blaze a fire. We will go on TikTok and everybody else podcast and everybody else thing and share them the thing. and we have our own thing. It's time enough for we share
Yes.
the man them thing. What it called Just Vibe?
Yeah, just a vibe.
vibe.
It's a vibe, you know what I mean? It's just a vibe, literally.
Literally,
You know what I mean?
literally.
So just go and like and share and support the thing and have a happy carnival. And I just want to say thank you to everybody in advance on behalf of the CDC and myself. Just big up yourself and big up all the artists and the makers of carnival.
Right.
Blessings.
Well, we have to say as well, well, first of all, like, enough thanks,
Respect,
Rodney
man.
Small, for coming through.
Yes,
You're in
man.
a tight schedule. Thank you for coming through and having a sit down with us. Thank you for clarifying a lot of things
Yeah, a lot
that
of
we
things,
needed to
yeah,
know.
the public.
For sure. It was very informative. I hope like you guys, the audience, get the information that you were looking for.
Yeah.
Also, we supporting CDC 100%.
Respect.
Fully, yeah. As Rodney talked about, all he asking from us is just, let the show up and let the police officers do the job, because everybody have a job to do at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So show up. We're taking care of ourselves and everybody else around us. We're taking care of the tourists and everybody else. And yeah, let's have a blast with this one here. Yeah, well.
Yeah, Vincy Mas 2025.
Alright, then until next time, we out.
Respect. Yeah.